could use that from 12.
I'll make sure.
Make sure there's no
First two then.
Yes.
Thanks.
Let's go. Trevor, great test match brought about by a very bold declaration from Joe. Would you hope that he sticks to those attacking instincts, even despite the result that we got?
Very much so, yeah. I hope the result doesn't change the way he thinks about the game. And if we, in that situation, I think more times than not, we'll win more than we lose on a fifth-day wicket. Today's wicket played pretty well, and the West Indies played even better. So, all credit to them. But I'd like to see the same sort of thought process happening in the future.
Is he the sort of bloke who you think wouldn't be too affected by that in terms of what his thought processes are when he goes into other situations?
Yeah, no, I don't think it'd affect him too much, and I think there's a few guys in the team behind him that were fully in. Everyone was fully supportive of last night's declaration. I'm sure they'll be backing him up and suggesting in the future that if we need to declare, I'm sure they'll give him a helping hand.
Okay.
When you look back at this defeat, what would be the sort of key factor for you? Would be the drop catches, the first innings batting?
The first innings batting and bowling, I would have thought. The batting, I mean, it was probably a little bit more difficult than it originally looked. It was still a decent wicket. I thought the West Indies bowled extremely well. They bowled a really good length, and I think it probably showed us the length to bowl. I thought when we bowled, that we were a little bit two sides of the wicket and a little bit short. We went past the bat and a fair bit and got a lot of edges when it ran down to third man, and I think that frustrated our blokes. But instead of we didn't really follow that up with more good balls. We let them off the hook, balls on the hip or easy four balls, where most of the time, as we've seen with our pace bowling. Bowlers we've got, that doesn't happen all that often. That happens in the game of cricket every now and then, and happened on this occasion.
Cook shelled a couple today, and even Stokes at the end there was almost unheard of. Any thoughts on long catches? Both sides dropped in.
Might have needed a pink one there late. No, both those guys dropping catches. It's they haven't dropped too many. I don't think since I've been here, so it's sort of a bit of a one-off. But whether it's a bit of a sign of our overall sort of thought process in this match. We seem to be fairly frustrated throughout that first bowling innings, and I think that sort of that held over into our second in this innings today as well. I thought it just looked like we're under a little bit of pressure, and as I said, frustrated when it wasn't quite happening for us.
Joe alluded to the first innings batting not being good enough, not scoring more than 300 when you win the toss. Obviously this is an area that has been plaguing you for a long time now. Are you starting to get a bit concerned about lessons not being learned, that the same mistakes are still being made, or how do you view that?
Well, I suppose the same mistakes are being made, but we've been giving different guys, they've been made by different players, I suppose. The one thing I was very happy about was the second innings, that I think they, to a certain degree, learnt their lesson from the first one. They spoke about, maybe not going for the big drives early on, playing a check drive rather than the wicket on the first day was. I think the thing that surprised them was how slow it was. And I think you found that with the boys getting their hands out in front, and the ball being able to take the inside edge. We got out a number of times, but they did speak about that, and try to learn from that. In the second innings, it was about doing the hard yards and making good decisions, batting for a long time, and that's exactly what they did. I thought that showed a lot of character.
Do you think that with Mark's first 50, David's second 50, that they're starting to take their opportunities and perhaps slightly ease that headache that you've had? Obviously Tom might be adding to it, but how do you...
Yeah, look, I suppose more than anything, they both started to look comfortable at the crease. If that's possible in a Test match. Certainly, Mark's he looks like a tough type of a player to me. He looks like he's ready for a scrap, the whole time. But when the bad ball comes along, he's able to put it away. And I thought that was the impressive thing throughout our second innings, that we were very watchful and wanted to bat for a long time. But our mind was on the job, because when we got a bad ball, we were able to put it away. David was, it's a couple of 60s he's got now. He looked a bit nervous in that first one, but I thought as I said, he was starting to look more comfortable in this Test match.
John, is Wesley likely to get another go at Lords?
Well, we've just got to have a chat tomorrow. I think we're catching up with the rest of the selectors. Have a chat. Yeah, look, it's a difficult one. Me personally, I think we'd probably go with the same team, the same squad. But Joe and I will have a good chat, and Jimmy tomorrow. But I'd be surprised if there was any changes.
Do you feel Stoneman and Milan kind of a couple of pieces just falling into place for the winter?
Yeah, well, we hope so, and. The last Test match, was another opportunity for them to really nail it down. As I said, they started to look comfortable, and they can both play off the back foot. So the signs are looking good. But as you know, we've said that before, and we've had to change after a few more matches. So to be honest, still got the fingers crossed for them.
Warrington, one more.
How much of a temptation will there be to have a look at Mason Crane?
It'll be a temptation, definitely. So we'll wait until we get to Lords to have a look at the wicket and see what type of a wicket it is. That brings in other decisions then, who might miss out. But look, to be honest, we'll have to wait and see what the wicket looks like.
Can you just tell us what the atmosphere was like in the change room at the end of the game? It was a pretty unexpected result. If you're just looking at where both sides are, West Indies haven't won in England, I think, for 17 years. Is that as difficult a result that you've experienced in Test cricket so far? Well,
they were hurting, and to me that's a good thing. I mean, if the team's hurting after a loss, it means that it means something to them. So I'm sure they'll be fully focused and ready to put things right in the next Test.
Okay, thank you.
Good. Cheers.